I'm 84 years old. That number feels heavier when I say it out loud than it ever did on paper. Most mornings, I wake up before the sun. Not because I need to, but because sleep doesn't stay with me very long anymore. The house is quiet at that hour. Not the peaceful kind of quiet people talk about when they imagine old age. This is a hollow quiet. The kind that reminds you of everything that used to fill the space. I sit at the edge of the bed for a while before standing up. My body needs time now. My thoughts move faster than my legs. That didn't used to be the case. I often look around the room and think about how normal it all once felt. The furniture hasn't changed much. The walls are the same color she liked. But something essential is missing, and no amount of time has filled that absence. I've been thinking about love a lot lately. Not love as an idea. Not love as something dramatic or poetic. I mean the ordinary kind. The quiet, daily kind. The kind you don't notice until it's gone. When I was young, I didn't think love needed much attention. I thought it was something that settled in once you made a commitment, like a piece of furniture you bought and owned. I believed that as long as I showed up physically and handled my responsibilities, love would take care of itself. I was wrong, but I didn't know it then. I met her when I was 22. Her name was Margaret. It wasn't a dramatic meeting. No grand story. A friend introduced us at a small gathering. There was coffee, folding chairs, conversations that went nowhere in particular. She laughed easily. That's the first thing I noticed. Not loudly, just honestly. It made people lean in instead of pull away. We talked about ordinary things. Work, families, where we grew up. Nothing that felt important at the time. And yet, those conversations shaped the rest of my life. Back then, I thought love was mostly about feeling, about attraction, about choosing someone, and then moving on to the next task life put in front of you. I had plans. I wanted stability. I wanted to be respected. I wanted to feel like I was doing something meaningful with my time. Love felt like something that would sit patiently on the sidelines while I figured everything else out. We married a few years later. It felt like the natural next step. She was kind, steady, thoughtful. She noticed details I didn't, remembered things I forgot. She made a home without ever announcing that she was doing it. I noticed, but not fully. I appreciated it, but not deeply. I assumed it would always be there. In those early years, I worked a lot, long hours, extra shifts. I told myself I was being responsible, and maybe I was in a narrow sense. Bills were paid. The lights stayed on. Food was on the table. But there's a difference between being responsible and being present. I didn't understand that distinction until much later. She would ask about my day, and I would answer while thinking about the next one. She would talk about small things, neighbors, errands, plans, and I would nod without really hearing her. I didn't mean to ignore her. I just believed there would be time later to listen properly. Later became a habit. The years moved quietly, not with fights or breakdowns, just routines, mornings, evenings, repeated days that felt harmless in their sameness. When our children were born, I told myself I needed to work even harder. I wanted to give them everything: opportunities, comfort, security. I thought love meant building a solid structure around them. What I didn't realize was that children notice presence more than provision. They remember voices more than objects. I missed dinners. I missed school events. I arrived late or left early. I promised myself I would make it up someday. I didn't see how those promises stacked up against time. Margaret never yelled. She never made demands. That should have worried me, but it didn't. I mistook her silence for understanding. I mistook patience for contentment. She adapted, and adaptation can look like acceptance if you aren't paying attention. There was a moment, I remember it clearly now, when our daughter asked why I didn't talk to her mother the way I used to. She was young. She said it casually, like an observation, not an accusation. I laughed. I brushed it off. I told myself children notice strange things. But children often see truth before adults are ready to admit it. As the years went on, conversations grew shorter, not colder, just thinner. We shared information, not thoughts, schedules, not feelings. I didn't feel unhappy. That's important to say. I felt comfortable. And comfort can be dangerous because it doesn't ask questions. I told myself this was what long marriages looked like. Calm, predictable, quiet. But quiet isn't always peace. When she got sick, it didn't arrive like a storm. It came slowly. Fatigue, doctor visits, words spoken carefully. I kept working. I told myself things would stabilize. Then came the call that asked me to come immediately. Hospitals have a way of stripping away illusions. Sitting beside her bed, holding a hand I'd held for decades, I felt something crack open inside me. Not panic, clarity. I saw every postponed conversation. Every evening I chose exhaustion over attention. Every time I assumed love was durable enough to withstand neglect. She looked at me without resentment. That hurt more than anger would have. There was familiarity in her eyes, but not expectation, as if she had already let go of the hope that I would suddenly become someone different. She died quietly. Afterward, the house felt larger than it ever had. Rooms echoed. Objects lost their meaning. I found myself pausing before habits that no longer applied. Setting 2 cups, listening for footsteps that would never come. Grief didn't arrive as one overwhelming feeling. It came in fragments, in moments, in realizations that landed slowly. I wasn't haunted by what I did wrong. I was haunted by what I delayed. Now, at 84, I live mostly in reflection. People come by. They ask questions. They listen politely. But when they leave, the quiet returns. I'll look at old photographs. Sometimes they feel like records of a life that belonged to someone else. I recognize the faces. I remember the moments, but I can't step back into them. That's the hardest part, knowing exactly where things shifted and knowing there's nothing to be done about it. If you're listening to this, I'm not asking you to change anything. I'm not offering advice. I don't believe people truly hear advice until life forces their hand. I'm simply telling you what happens when love is treated as something permanent instead of something living. Love needs attention, not grand gestures, just presence. I had love. I felt it. I just didn't tend to it. And now, as the days grow quieter and my time grows shorter, I carry both gratitude and regret side by side. They don't cancel each other out. They coexist. That's the truth I live with now.